Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. So Tesla's full self-driving version 13 is going to wide release, and it is doing just unbelievable things as we are seeing new owners' minds blown every single day.
Wow. Perfect.
And this is just the beginning. I don't think people really understand the implication of this, not for unsupervised full self-driving or robo-taxis down the road, but just what Tesla's full self-driving version 13 wide release will do. Tesla is about to take off like a rocket, and meanwhile, unattended, do what your mom always says you cannot do. Kick someone that's already down. Because the legacy automakers are about to get kicked while they're already down. So let's check it all out of this mind-blowing stuff we're seeing right now, and let's dive right in. So Tesla is taking their mind-blowing full self-driving version 13 to wide release, as Hook wrote on X. Full self-driving version 13.2.1 is now rolling out wide to AI4 customers, so the cars with the AI4 chip. So this is important, not just a big step towards unsupervised full self-driving coming next year, but this is one of the biggest demand levers that Tesla can pull, without cutting price or making loans with 0% rates. But I will get back to that in a second. Let's just start with some of the absolutely mind-blowing stuff version 13 is doing at the moment. Just blowing people's minds. Let's start with JC that took his Tesla with version 13 on a ride for the first time and was blown away. His very first ride was from his driveway, where it had to back out and then drove all the way to the mall and parked itself.
Wow. I love it. That is brand new. We take the yellow. Man, that was so smooth too. That was better than a human driver. Wow, incredible. Wow, just so smooth too. Like no anxiety in the car whatsoever as it's getting into this turning median. All right, we progress on up. We have a stop sign, but we would need to stop anyway. We have oncoming vehicles coming down Westlake Houston Parkway, and as soon as that moves, we got a gap and we take it. Perfect. Got a cart guy right there. Wow. Wow. Holy moly. Golly, that was so good. The cart guy had a cart coming out and it avoided the loose cart. All right, now it's trying to park, ironically, right next to a Model Y. All right, taking its time. Wow. Perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. That's feature complete right there.
No intervention, no problem, just smoother than a human driver from parking lot to parking lot with a push of a button. It didn't park itself in the parking lot every time he did a test, so still some improvements to be made, but just the fact that it can drive you all the way there as smooth as a human, and then you can take over and park it if it doesn't do it yourself. I would love to have this feature in my country, I would gladly park my car myself if it doesn't do it for some reason. But again, a very impressive drive. But another one was Drake that also rode on X. Version 13 really is game-changing in smoothness. It took a route that has been the most problematic for me and had 3 specific points where full self-driving would typically not make the best decision for comfort. This time it nailed all 3 and ended up being an incredibly boring but insane ride thanks to Tesla's AI. And RoboSlide Driver also shared this video and wrote Full Self-Driving version 13 handles incoming ambulance perfectly. There was no message shown on the screen, but Full Self-Driving did not attempt to move forward until the ambulance passed despite the light being green. Perfect behavior. And as Huck tuned in and wrote, even better handling including audio input coming in Full Self-Driving version 13.4. So we also all have to keep in mind, as impressive as a version 13 is, now that is as bad as this system will ever be. It will not be many months from now that we will look back and say, do you remember that time when Full Self-Driving version 13 couldn't even park itself sometimes? It was just so dumb. But version 13 also did something that blew James Daumer's mind, the AI and machine learning expert. So let's just take a quick look at this drive.
Wait, is this legal?
Yeah, it is.
This is legal?
Welcome to San Francisco.
Oh my God. What are
This
we gonna do?
two-lane, two-way, one.
It's gonna,
Yeah.
what's it gonna do now?
It's gonna go up there because it's got a spot to pull over and let this guy through. All right. Let's see if it doesn't. Yes, 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 yes,
Oh
yes!
my God.
Yes!
That was unbelievable.
That was good.
Wow.
It saw that. Can you believe? Like, that's a very subtle feature.
It might not seem as much, but this is the neural network thinking and reacting in real time and understanding that it need to go up there because it had room to pull over to the side to let the other car pass. And this was a two-way street, but with only one lane. Very, very impressive. But most impressive might be this one from Jordan that shared this video of his first experience with version 13 and put it to the test as he rode on X. Couldn't wait to put Tesla's Full Self-Driving version 13.2.1 to the ultimate challenge of navigating rush hour traffic in the heart of New York City. And I personally have tried as a foreigner to drive in New York City during the daytime, and I thought it was quite scary with all that traffic in such a little squeezed place to drive. But Full Self-Driving handled it more confident than I ever did. And as he wrote, spoiler alert, it crushed it without a single intervention or disengagement in over an hour of driving. Watch and count how many times I say, wow, it's that good. Full Self-Driving didn't just keep up with the chaos of the New York City streets, it outperformed the average driver and might just give yellow cabs a run for their money. Tesla nailed it with this release. It feels like it's reading my mind at times. This is just nuts. An hour of driving in New York City rush hour with no problems. That is just insane. And it did even make a couple of pullovers as he had made the trip up of a couple of waypoints. So it drew to these waypoints, pulled over and parked itself, and then he just hit the continue the trip button and the car took off again. And this is not San Francisco where we see hallmarks testing it out all the time. This is New York City, showing just how capable Tesla software is no matter where you turn it on.
Is it going to pull all the way up? It's just a robotaxi. I didn't touch the wheel a single time. I didn't intervene. I didn't do anything. That's a crazy first drive.
I know that we all in the Tesla community know about version 13's crazy abilities by now, but just remember, most people in the US don't know that Tesla can do this. Just imagine going to a test drive a Tesla, and then the car drives you from parking lot to parking lot by a push of a button, blowing your mind because you didn't even know a car could do this. And then you go to check out a Ford Mach-E or an ID4 or Chevrolet Blazer EV, and you have to drive that car all by yourself. They are going to feel like dinosaurs. Version 13 going to wide release is going to create so much demand for Tesla's cars in the US, in my opinion, as no other car manufacturer has anything like this. You can only get this with a Tesla, and they have a starting price that are below the average selling price of a car in the US and cost about the same as an ID4 and a Mach-E that can't drive you around. This software is going to kill the other guys. They are already having demand problem with their EVs as it is today. Remember, Ford has halted production completely of their F-150 Lightning in November and December. What do you think will happen when Tesla truly turn the old guys' cars into a flip phone? Tesla's demand will skyrocket and the others will fall off a cliff when the world starts to realize just how amazing Tesla's software is. Even when you have to keep an eye on it, it is still some amazing stuff. And if Tesla continues to give new owners a 1 month free trial, the uptake on this is going to skyrocket, bringing in some of all that extra profits per vehicle we have been talking about before. And why Elon has said they are willing to sell the cars at no profits at all if they have to, because they will make it up on software later. Luckily, Tesla had not needed to be that drastic, and last quarter Tesla was back and having industry-leading margins on their cars. But that might have been helped a little bit by the huge uptake we have seen with version 12. So with version 13, this is going to explode, as it drives much better and smoother, which was something that put many people off before. With all the jiggering and hard braking and stuff, now there is no jiggering or hard braking, it's all gone. So more people will feel much safer with this new software that are driving the car. But next we will get unsupervised full self-driving, and then it's just game over. Who would then buy anything else? Other than the Tesla haters, of course, but let them drive the dinosaurs and everyone else can drive the future. And we are seeing Tesla getting things ready in other countries as well, like Tesla's actual smart summon is now available in South Korea and China as well. So taking small steps to get full self-driving to other countries as well. As Tesla Chan also wrote, many Koreans have started buying enhanced autopilot. If full self-driving version 13 is applied to Korea, we will definitely purchase full self-driving as well. Yes, Tesla getting version 13 to a global wide release is going to be such a huge demand lever that Tesla can pull. And we are not talking about unsupervised. Still, supervised version 13 will blow people's mind, especially here in Europe, for example, because here basically no one outside the Tesla community knows that Tesla has this full self-driving software that is driving people around in New York traffic's rush hour city with no intervention. So here in Europe, when Tesla hopefully will get this supervised full self-driving version 13 approved, most people will feel like Tesla went from 0 to 100 overnight. They will no longer try to argue that Germans have the superior full self-driving technologies. They will all see and be able to experience Tesla's cars doing something that no one is even close to do. All the others' level 3 driver assist features will feel like a Nokia phone that has just got a color screen here in 2024. So we know Tesla is working on getting supervised full self-driving version 13 to Europe and China and other countries. But I think many are underestimating just how big that leap is going to feel in places like here in Europe, where Tesla's full self-driving system has basically been the same for years, and how much demand this software is going to create, because the cars are not that expensive. Here in my country, they are also below the average selling price, and the Model Y is already the best-selling car in the country, and Tesla is the best-selling brand of any kind in the country as well. So I really think this is going to create some huge demand for Tesla, because you can still drive if you like that when you're driving on a mountain road in Austria, because it's just good fun. But the long, boring drive from my country to Austria, 15 hours down there on the German Autobahn, well, that is when you like the system to take over so you can relax more and just keep an eye on it. And one day, take a nap for 5 hours and then work for 5 hours and then watch a movie and play some games and have a Zoom meeting and then take over the driving, if you still want to, when you hit those beautiful mountain roads in Austria. So I hope the supervised Full Self-Driving version 13 is coming in 2025, as that will also bring in so much more quality data for Tesla to get this software to drive even better, as this mind-blowing stuff we're seeing right now is as bad as it will ever be. It will only get better from here on out. And Jeff Lutz also wrote on X, Full Self-Driving version 13.2.1, wow, it feels like I was controlling the car with my mind. It did everything I wanted it to, the way I wanted it to. I don't know how to describe it other than I think I'm done with human driving. I was already having Full Self-Driving do like 80 to 90% of my drives before on version 12.5. This feels like it's closed the remaining gap. Last year was only about 30% of my drives were on version 11. I think the progress is important to describe. With version 13.2.1 you feel the reduced latency and improved performance by more human-like acceleration, slowdown, merge, turns, except it's perfect every time. And humans are not perfect. I'm 3 drives in, more testing to do. I'm sure there are edge cases to encounter, but this goes beyond any implicit bias. It's meaningfully better, and we know there are more enhancement and features on the way. Yep, this is not the final form. This is not perfect. But remember, version 12 was released to wide release this year as well. The much worse version 11 that Jeff talks about was just last year. You simply can't deny the progress we are seeing right now. And remember, us here in Europe have not experienced even version 11. We are stuck on the same system we have had for years. Tesla is going to explode in Europe when version 13 comes here. And if we take that progress we have seen, that will only accelerate as more people get version 13 of the Full Self-Driving system and help training the neural network with the Cortex supercomputer Tesla has built in Texas, whose only purpose in life is to train Tesla's neural network. We don't have to wait another year for the same kind of progress we have seen over the last year. I think the first half of 2025 is going to be a very exciting 6 months for Tesla, for their AI team, and all of us that are following this amazing story unfold.
Wow.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.